Happy Pride Month! I just quickly want to talk about my friend, intersectionality. Intersectionality is a topic that's going to come up a little bit this month because some of the things I'm talking about are intersectional issues, and I'm very aware that not everybody knows what intersectionality is, even though they might have heard the word before. And it comes into queer issues a lot, so let's quickly talk about it. Intersectionality is the coming together of parts of your identity. For example, being queer and being disabled, like myself, or being black and being trans, or being deaf and being a gay woman. Intersectionality recognises that the combination of these parts of your identity can contribute to your privilege and to your oppression. I know, the big words that nobody really likes, but we need to talk about these things. And they are intersectional issues. Intersectionality does not weigh up what privileges you have and how you are oppressed and decide whether you are privileged or oppressed. Instead, it recognises how you might be oppressed, but also how your privileges affect that. A quick example for you is I may be oppressed because I am transgender, I also may be oppressed because I am disabled, and I also may be oppressed because I am deaf. If you put all of these three things together, you could argue that I am reasonably oppressed. But I also have white privilege, I also have skinny privilege, and I do have a certain amount of passing privilege. And that's not an exhaustive list of parts of my identity. Those are just some examples that I am able to talk about. Intersectionality recognises that I am oppressed, but it does not ignore that I have white privilege and that I have skinny privilege. It does not ignore the effects that my white privilege has on my oppression compared to, say, a black person who is also trans and disabled and deaf. But Max, why has race suddenly come into this? Because it's important and it affects every aspect of life and identity. For example, a disproportionate amount of the trans people murdered each year for being queer or being trans are black trans women. And that's not a coincidence. Black deaf people are far more likely to have their sign languages interpreted and labelled as gang signs and mocked as such than white deaf people. Gay dating apps are plagued with the phrase no fats, no femmes and no Asians. Discussions around white privilege and queerness are always relevant and a good demonstration of intersectionality. And intersectional feminism recognises the power levels not only between genders, but between those genders based on characteristics like disability, deafness, queerness, etc. Think of intersectionality like a crossroads. So a lot of issues are only affected by my queerness. But then there comes a point where my deafness comes into it. For example, the LGBT scene. So a lot of queer social events take place in nightclubs, and in nightclubs there is a lot of noise. When you want to talk to somebody in a nightclub, you have to go really close to them and yell in their ear. That doesn't work with me. I need to see lips to lip read, and I also need to hear some sort of sound to narrow down what I'm seeing on their face. And a lot of the time in nightclubs, alcohol is consumed, which is on its own fine, but have you ever tried to lip read somebody that is slurring their words because they are so drunk? Difficult. So that is the intersection of my queerness and my deafness. My entire life is affected by all of the parts of who I am. Weird experiences like needing to wear a mask for my cold urticaria. If you're new here, you can find more about me being allergic to cold up here. But me wearing a mask for my cold urticaria and then being ID'd for, say for example, a bottle of wine. My driver's license uses an MX title because I am non-binary, and because my name is also Max and the MX title isn't exactly what I would call well known, people look at me, look at my driver's license with MX, MAX, Fisher, and see my face covered and think I'm trying to pass off a really bad fake ID with the name spelled wrong. that is also an intersection of parts of my identity, my chronic illness, and my transness. Things like queerness and my disabilities. So when I use my wheelchair a lot, it happens. If I want to go out on a night out with my queer friends, most of the queer nightclubs take place in inaccessible venues. And there is the argument that because back in the day when queerness wasn't legal or accepted, whatever terminology you would like to use for that, queer meetups took place in lofts and basements.
But we do live in 2019 now.
What did you do, Max?
I said it was 2019, but it's actually May 2020. I didn't even notice.
Good.
Oh god, my brain.
Good job.
Back in the day when queerness wasn't legal or accepted, whatever terminology you would like to use for that, queer meetups took place in lofts and basements. But we do live in 2019 now. We can have a wheelchair accessible venue without completely forgetting that being gay was illegal at one point. Yeah, sorry for the bit of a heavy topic, but I've wanted to make this for a while, so here I am. Happy Pride Month! Don't forget to like this video if you have learnt something from it. Drop a comment down below if you have anything to add. Let's have a discussion about it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Ordinarily videos go out every Saturday at 6 PM UK time with at least one bonus video every single month, but this month is Pride Month, so I'm uploading a video every Wednesday, I'm not sure the time, and my usual Saturday at 6 PM. See ya!